50 years ago, in 1966, Liz and I spent our honeymoon on the lovely Channel Island of Jersey. Armed with my trusty 35mm camera, I took some 20 or so colour slides around the island. In 2016, we decided to revisit some of those places. We flew to Jersey in 1966 by BEA on board a Vickers Viscount. Our flight this year was via BA from Gatwick on board an Airbus A319. The small natural harbour of Bonneuil, in the north of the island, has changed very little in 50 years. The name Bonneuil, of course, means good night, and refers to the shelter sailors could rely on by overnighting in the harbour. The pier was constructed in 1872, not only for fishing boats, but also to serve the quarry of Mont Mado up above the bay. A small fort was built at La Crête to guard against the threat of the French invasion, and the current property, dating from 1830, is now used as a holiday let. There are some great walks on the north coast, and the cliff path above Bouilly Bay is no exception. Another small pier at Bouilly Bay is used by boat owners and fishermen alike. We were intrigued to see how the boats are hoisted out of the water and onto the pier using a crane. From Bouilly Bay to the very pretty and peaceful Roselle Bay, situated a little further east in Trinity Parish. Roselle was once home to a small fishing fleet, and the harbour was built in 1829 for the increasing numbers of vessels involved in the oyster dredging fishery. The industry collapsed at the end of the 19th century, but the harbour remains as a peaceful haven for tourists and pleasure craft. In 1966, we remember visiting what was then a fairly young Jersey Zoo, opened by Gerald Durrell in 1959. Even then, this was the first ever conservation-themed zoo. Now, over 50 years later, it is home to over 1,400 mammals and some of the world's most endangered animal species. The mission of the Durrell Wildlife Conservation Trust, as it is now known, is to save species from extinction. To everyone's delight, a baby Andean bear was born in January this year. As well as being adorable, the Jersey breed of cattle can be found all over the island. A major artwork consisting of life-size bronze sculptures is sited at West Centre in St Helier, the island's capital. In 1966, we stayed in the Havre des Pas area of St Helier. A natural harbour for small vessels, Havre des Pas was also associated with shipbuilding until early in the 20th century. This iconic structure, built at the end of the 19th century, was the Jersey Swimming Club bathing pool. The club was formed in 1865 after a tragic accident involving the drowning of two young boys at Havre de Pas. This view of St Helier, taken in 1966, was from Normont Point. This strategic headland was used by the Germans during the occupation as a naval coastal artillery battery. The point overlooks St Albans Bay and St Helier, with Elizabeth Castle in the foreground. Construction of the castle began in 1594 to defend the island and the port of St Helier. Sir Walter Raleigh, Governor of Jersey between 1600 and 1603, gave it the name of Elizabeth Castle after Queen Elizabeth I. The castle is on a tidal island, accessible via a causeway at low tide or via one of the castle's amphibious vehicles. An impressive granite wall was a backdrop to my photo in 1966 and again in 2016. The wall was most likely situated at St Albans Bay, where Liz walked over the sand once more. Further west along the south coast is Portlet Bay. Javrins Island, in the middle of the bay, is named after a captain who died while making his crew and himself stay there until they were free from disease. Just around the corner from Portlet Bay is St Brelard's, probably the island's most popular beach, due to its acres of golden sand. Visitors can also enjoy the beautiful seafront gardens overlooking St Brelard's beach. By the shore at the western end of the bay and beside St Brelard's church, the Fisherman's Chapel can be found. This is one of the few monastic chapels that survived destruction by the reformers in the 16th century. Ancient wall paintings dating from the 14th century were discovered after a severe storm in 1918 revealed colour underneath the plaster. The southwest corner of the island had a fearsome reputation for shipwrecks, and a 10-metre high lighthouse was built in 1873 at La Corbière. Built on a rock 500 yards offshore, this was the world's first concrete lighthouse, and in good visibility the automatic light can be seen for 18 miles. Continuing to the northwest coast, Plemont Bay boasts yet another fabulous beach, washed twice a day by the tide. Plemont is also known for its caves, well worth exploring at low tide. Following rainfall, water falls in front of some of the caves, creating a freshwater stream which runs down to the sea. The only slide taken of us both together in 1966 was at the Priory Inn on the north coast. With the help of our friend Annette, we tried to recreate the scene 50 years later in 2016.